Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Jeremy Uncensored. Happy Saturday. It is a gorgeous day here in North Dakota. We got the rain that we needed, so that helped. That greened up a lot of stuff outside. Heck, who knows, maybe we'll actually get to shoot off fireworks in July and not be under a burn ban. Maybe we'll get some more rain between now and then too to ensure that. But we needed the rain and we got it, so that was awesome. Um, it's the 23rd. I'm assuming by now, in a lot of the areas, if not all in the U.S., school's out. Hope everybody has a great summer. Enjoy it safe. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe in whatever it is that you do. It's time now where people are going to go camping. You get the campers out. Fishing. Of course, there's already been some fishing done, but going to hit the lakes, rivers, whatever. So just have fun, but be safe. Even if you're traveling, just be safe out there. Yeah, I want to and I want to start off before I talk about what I want to talk about today. When I do these things, I just want people to know it's not a knock on anybody. Okay, so if I share something and you do it differently, I'm not calling you out. I'm not, again, knocking on what you do. I'm not doing that. It's just that when it comes to like parenting, we all parent different, and that's fine. But don't feel like, well, he's calling me out or this, that, and the other, because I'm not. What I like to do is share, like, how I handle stuff, because then if I get some comments or interactions, I like to hear what other people do, because there's going to be a lot of times that I'm probably going to look at this and go, hey, you know what? Dang it, I didn't think of it that way. It gives me another way of viewing things, and I don't get mad. That's a little continuation from Tuesdays. That was a hot topic apparently, but I'm supposed to be mad or angry about certain things, and I refuse to be. So, but that's neither here or there. I just want to lead off with that, though. I just want to lead off with it's not a knock. It's not me being disrespectful towards anybody, because, like I said, we all parent different. In saying that, let's just jump right into it. It finally happened. About 2 weeks ago, my oldest daughter walked up to me and she said, "Dad, I want to talk about dating. I want to ask when I can start." The rule for me is 6th and 7th grade, they can't. Look, I mean, you're 6th and 7th graders. I don't see the point. Again, other people let their kids date. That's fine. I told both of my kids, 6th and 7th grade, you're not. 8th grade, I'm more to opening up um, and having some dialogue with them to see, all right, let's see if you're ready. Let's just see how this goes, okay? But she approached me about it. Okay, school's over with, and she's going into 8th grade. My youngest will be a 7th grader next year, right? And the rule applies to both of them, okay? So when she asked me about it, I immediately, I didn't even hesitate. I asked her, I said, "What's your definition of dating?" Now, keep in mind, she's a very bright girl. Both of my kids are very bright. My oldest daughter, she's just into the school year with a 4.0 GPA. There's nothing I can complain about, like grade wise and stuff like that. So she's very bright, and again, both of them are. She really couldn't give me a definition. Some of the things that she was saying is like, well, you don't always have to go out for coffee, you don't always have to go out to eat, you don't always have to go to a movie. So I said, well, you got friends that you hang out with. And she was like, well, no. And I said, okay. So what I told her to do was think about it. Come up with your own definition of what you think dating is. I don't want you to Google it. Don't give me a dictionary answer. I want what you think it is. And I also went on to tell her, we got plenty of time to discuss this. We got all summer, and then in July, we're going to go back to our home state, Kentucky, for a visit. So I said, we got an 18-and-a-half-hour drive that we can discuss this at length. And so in doing that, I was thinking about it, because the discussion will be, and let's go ahead and throw this out there. She will see this, okay? The discussion will be that there will be rules. There are going to be guidelines, expectations, if you will, because my first title is dad, okay? And my number one thing that I take serious is both of my kids' protection, okay? That I take dead serious, okay? And I want them to know that for all these years leading up to whenever they, get their first boyfriend or whatever, it's my job to keep them safe and protect them. And then I have got to entrust this boyfriend, that they're going to do the same thing. They're going to keep them safe, right? Because I don't want them out here and crap hits the fan and then they run. Even if you have to call me and say, hey, Jeremy, look, this is going down. I'm not 100% sure how to handle it. I need some help. Whatever it may be, I'll be there, okay? And I'm not going to hold it against you. In fact, you're going to get a lot of brownie points from me and a lot of respect. But I told her, and I've mentioned it to both of my kids before, prior to this, that, I'm going to have to trust these people, right? In saying all that, I did tell her that I am going to have a conversation with the young man. Now, dads out there, okay, I know the old adage, I'm gonna have a talk, cleaning my gun or sharpening my knives. I'm not gonna do that, okay? All right, I'm not gonna scare him. Not fully. I'm just gonna let him know that, hey, look, this has been my job for this long, and I've got to entrust that you're gonna do this too. So, and if you fail it, then we're gonna have problems. Or you try something that you shouldn't be trying, we're gonna have problems. Because I want respect for both of them. I want her to respect him, and of course, I want him to respect her. Because I think a lot of times in relationships, and men and women do this, we expect to be treated one way, but for some odd reason, we don't return it. I'm not 100% sure why that is, and I'm not saying that all men and all women do that. I'm just saying some do. Expect, I should be treated like a queen or I should be treated like a king, but I'm going to in turn treat you like a peasant or somewhere along those lines. I want them to know, not to be out here making stupid decisions. So we'll have plenty of time to discuss this at length, right? And so I was thinking, I'm like, what is an age that kids start to thinking about dating? And according to the the American Academy of Pediatrics, kids start to navigate to that dating stages, if you will. Girls are, I'll round up, 13, boys are 14, okay? And I was thinking about it, I was like, man, really? 13, 14? Which I get it at that age, you're a teenager, now you think you're high on the hog, right? And it's, I know it all, or at least I think I know it all. And of course, it's all different from when I was growing up to now. So, I didn't have a smartphone growing up. Kids now do. I didn't have an iPad growing up. Kids do. So they're texting at earlier ages. They're, a lot of communication going on here and there earlier than what I did. But, I had a conversation with a buddy of mine last night, and we were talking about how, when we were younger, we were always outside. Now it's different because, again, we didn't have internet growing up. We were outside playing basketball, or you're swimming, or you were at a friend's house doing whatever, right? Times are different, and I feel like we have to adapt to that. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with setting rules, having guidelines, right? Expectations, if you will. It's just to keep people honest and being held accountable, right? And so I told her that, again, me and this young man will have a talk. So her response to me was like, man, I don't want to be there. And I was like, no, I want you to be there. And I do. I want her to be there to hear what I have to say to him, right? And, and he doesn't need to be scared fully. But, I kid. But, I think it's important that we're all on the same page, okay? Because here's what I'm going to be gearing for. Start dating, then I got to be ready for that first broken heart if it doesn't work out. Who knows? I said it on one of the episodes before that, man, I hope they meet somebody, both of them. I hope they meet somebody and, man, boom, blast off. I really do. Will that happen? I don't know. It could not. It's 50-50. But I'm also got to be ready for it not to work out and that first broken heart. And, man, it's going to be tough, okay? I'm going to be supportive of her and her relationship because, history shows a lot of parents that try to pull back and, might be too controlling, might be too overbearing, if you will. The more you try to pull back, you're really pushing them towards what you don't want them to do. So that's why I think it's important to have a conversation. I think it's important that we're all on the same page in what we expect. I'm looking forward to it. I really am, because, and I've shared this to all my friends out there, you got newborns or your child just turned 1 or 2 or 3, whatever. Look, you're going to blink and they're out of 5th grade. They're in middle school, right? You're going to blink again and they're a freshman in high school. And in between that, they're going to bring home or tell you, Mom, Dad, I really like this girl, or I really like this boy. It's going to happen, right? You're going to blink. They're graduating high school. I mean, we just had a graduation not too long ago, and I was thinking about all the parents that were there and they're celebrating with their child, graduating, and I'm sure they thought the same thing. It's like, man, I just felt like it was yesterday. Y'all were in kindergarten, right? You're going to blink again, and they're married. They're getting married. They're coming to tell you that they're married, and then, there's going to be a lot of excitement. You're going to probably cry, but you're happy, and then you're going to blink again, and they're going to come to you and say, do you want to be called Poppy, Meemaw, Grandma, Grandpa, whatever. And then all that's going to be going on. So it happens. And I'm now here. I have blinked, and now I'm at that stage, what I've got to be ready for. Knew it was coming. Prepared? Yes. Okay, I won't say fully prepared, but mostly I am prepared for it. The conversation, though, that we will have, again, will just be on expectation. I want us all on the same page. That's it. It's not for me to put the fear of God in this kid or anything like that, right? And I want her to know, and I've told both my kids this, heck, I've told other people this too. You don't let, and I say this because I'm a girl dad, you don't let a man dictate your worth. Never let a man dictate your worth. Never let a man say, well, you don't need a man to tell you that you're beautiful or not, okay? And if I had a son, I'd say the same thing. Don't let a girl or a woman, whatever, dictate your worth, okay? And I don't want them in that relationship where they're like brought down to like nothing and they think they're worth nothing, because then we're going to have a big problem, okay? A big problem. And that's just coming, from the heart, right? And so the conversation we're going to have are going to, like I said, over expectations, some guidelines, rules, if you will. I think both of them need rules too, what they expect out of the other. Because, let's get real here. We're in a day and age where, okay, I don't even need to say it, right? So, parents, let me know what you think. All right, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it's happened for you. Really? I love this cat to death. I really do. But it just seems like she has nothing to do with me unless I start doing this right here. Get down. But anyway, she, Let me know what you think. How the conversation that you may have. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm overlooking something. Okay. I will say this. I did tell both my girls, and I mean this, that I will be on the first date. Now, it's not there to be embarrassing. I'm not going to set out to embarrass them. I'm not at all. I'm just going to be there, just looking. If you want to go watch a movie, I'm not going to sit beside you. Okay, I'm going to sit, I'll sit several rows up. Um, if you want to go to Panda Express and eat, that's fine. You're going to be at the table. I'm going to be at another table. Okay. Now the kicker is this. That doesn't mean that that first date that's the only one I'm going to be on. No, 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 no. Because you all can act like little angels, right? I'm probably going to be on another one or surprise you. I don't even care if you go see a Care Bear movie. I'm going to be in that theater, right? So they know that. And I'll let the young man know that too, that, hey, I will be there on that first one. Because obviously at 8th grade, neither one's driving just yet. And they're going to have a chauffeur. So I'm going to have to, myself or the young man's parents are going to have to drive them. So, with that being said, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you think. Like I said, pretty good on this one. I'll try to keep it short. And again, tell me maybe the conversation you would have, maybe some points that you would hit, maybe some points I should hit that I'm missing. And we'll go from there. Okay. Again, I hope everybody has a great weekend, safe weekend, great safe summer. Like I said, hit me up on the comments if you haven't already. Go over to YouTube at Jeremy Uncensored, hit the subscribe button, and I appreciate all the followers that I have so far. The interactions that I've had, they've been good. I had a couple that, whatever. I didn't even delete the comments. I kept them because, I'm not going to delete them because you are unhappy with something I said or whatnot. But I do like the interaction and the back and forth, especially when it comes to parenting. Because again, I am a single dad, so there's probably some stuff that I miss and I don't think of, or there's something that I'm like, man, you know what? She or whoever may leave me a comment, she was right. I didn't look at it this way. This is what I need to look at. Or another dad out there, I'm like, hey, I'm going through the same thing. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't look at it your way either. That's a good point. So, just hit me up. And hope everybody has a great weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.